Good afternoon. It's Sunday, December the 20th, back in the Nook, and I'm digging into this big box of books. This is all content from Chaosium of basically the print-on-demand reprints of titles for RuneQuest II or RuneQuest Classic that they've made available within the last month or so. And if there are titles which they've made available which you haven't got, then it's worth checking out right now, because they're all 25% discount, 25% off at the moment. So I'm going to dig into this book in a second. I'm just going to take a cup of tea. Having a slug of that before we dig into it further. So what do we have? That. Okay, what's next? And we have Cults of Terror. This is the companion to Cults of Prax. Now, Cults of Prax presented 15 cults that the player characters could join, from Orlanth to Isares to Yamalio to Darkafal to Kaigo Lightor, and so on. Cults of Terror presents basically cults the players are unlikely to join, and whose members would be at odds with the player characters and the cults they belong to. So, Cult of Terror, 9 dangerous deities for RuneQuest roleplay. The bad guys are Glorantha, 9 cults for the cruel and unusual, destined to enliven every campaign. Cults include Primal Chaos, Malia, Bagog, Thed, Vivamore, Thanatar, the Crimson Bat, Crushed, and Nicelor, stroke Gibaji. Each cult has described cult myths, history, requirements for lay, initiate, and rune master membership, subservient and associate cults, and miscellaneous knights. There are now rune spells, battle magics, skills, and 5 new runes, an expanded cult compatibility chart, 4 rules for nets, a pronunciation guide, the adventures of Lunar Initiate, Paulus, Longvale, and exciting mythical and historical essays by Greg Stafford. This book is fully compatible with RuneQuest Classic Edition. The concepts and descriptions in it can be used for any fantasy role-playing system, similar to Cults of Prax. So, what we have in here. This was originally published in 1981, so it will be 40 years old next year. I will likely be doing a review as a consequence. But this is Cult of Terror is a book about the bad guys of Glorantha, the enemies of creation, the foes against whom every fight must be fought. These forces are worthy of fanatical opposition, for once they are loosed in a campaign, they will be difficult to dislodge. And these are basically forces which are inimical to the player characters and their beliefs, and in some cases to the nature of the universe itself. We have basically another expression of time, and then essentially the formatting is explained through a sample cult, which covers everything from cold fingers. There we go. From mythos and history, lay membership and and requirements for membership. Lay membership, requirements to belong, and benefits and skills offered. Battle magic. Same again for initiate membership. Rune Lord membership and Rune Priesthood, and then cosmology, how it relates to the Celestial Court and the God's War, and so on. And we're now into essentially the conspiracy of the unholy trio of the devil, Wakboth, and Kajabor. We'll go into the Age of Terror, final battle of mortality, and so on. The Lightbringer's quest, and really going through the history right through. Basically the discussion of Arkat and the Gabaji Wars. This is going to be interesting to dig into. There's a complete pronunciation guide. There we go. Always useful. And then we go into Primal Chaos. And before that, we've got a map of Doristor there, which is important because it's again a site of chaos over the years. Primal Chaos, Malia, Mystery of Disease. We go on to Bagog, the Scorpion Queen. Again, what you've got alongside that is, and this is the quest of basically the travel log of Paulus Longveil. We're going to Thed, Mother of Bruise, and this is interesting. It basically ties into some extent with a recent supplement which appeared on the Johnstown Compendium, Legion, which is a book of brew NPCs, and many of which worship these gods. So Vivamort, Lord of the Undead. Keep going. Thanator, Seven God. These write-ups are relatively short, I think, in comparison to those. They feel shorter in comparison to those in Cult of Prax, but still you've got a wealth of detail, really for creating villains, bad guys. But what you're doing when you're doing it, you're creating, individual characters. That's one of the features of RuneQuest, is that every character is individual. Yes, you can get sort of, you can do multi-stat sort of thing and stat blocks, but ultimately every character, it's not really RuneQuest has never done faceless masses to be slaughtered. Every character is individualized with stats, and details, and spells and skills. So it comes to the Crimson Bat, Steed of the Red Goddess, Chaos and Death runes there, early representation of the much feared Crimson Bat, basically one of the signature weapons, demonic weapons of the Lunar Empire. And we've gone lastly, we've crashed it. Just got past that. The Hungry One. And lastly, Nicelor, Gabaji, the Bright One Stroke, the Deceiver. And again, the appendices you've got here, expanded cult compatibility. So, whereas that just the table in Cult of Prax just dealt with the 15 cults there, this now adds the 9 cults included in Cults of Terror. Lastly, essentially new skills like acting and bat mastery, net attack. Some new spells, new rune spells as well, such as Malia's Cause Brain Fever or Thed's Crack, and these are rated basically either 1, 2 or 3 points. And then we go on to other Grantham material, and it's interesting here that essentially with the reprint is interesting here. So what you're seeing is, okay, in 1981, what was Chaosium thinking of bringing out, going, looking at seeing a list, okay, were those things published? And that's just genuine, that's interesting anyway. And many of them are and were, some of them not, but that's just the way of things. Lastly, we have Greg's designer notes. Now, what isn't in here, which is what's interesting, I was going to look forward to, was see whether or not there would be basically just a quick history of previous reprints or versions of the Cult of Terror book, but not so. Basically, that's only Cults. Anyway, so that's Cults of Terror. Essentially, it's the source book for the gods and cults of Prax and Glorantha that are opposed to, that are inimical to those presented in Cult of Prax. Anyway, this has been another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this one, please do give this a like, or to add a comment. I appreciate anything you have to say. And if you want to see more of these, click the button to subscribe, because I will be publishing more and unboxing more in the near future. Thanks for watching.